Parents across the state and the country are struggling to become teachers for their now homeschooled children. And today we've got some advice for you and me from somebody who's been doing it for years with all four of her kids. Jennifer Lopez joins us now. She is the author of the book Chief Executive Mom, and she joins us with some important tips on homeschooling. Jennifer, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And I know we're going to start with a common theme that we've heard from other homeschooling experts, the idea of providing a schedule. And I'm guessing that's to provide some sense of normalcy, but why don't you talk about how important it is and how best to implement it?
Well, thanks so much for having me, Tim. Yeah, that schedule piece is so important. I find in my early days of homeschooling, I had a very rigid schedule, which is what I'm starting to see right now come out. The 9 a.m. to 9:10 a.m. do, this, 9:10 to 9:30 do this. And what we found was that that type of very rigid schedule ended in the inability to maintain consistency, and it added pressure to the household. So what I recommend is a type of block scheduling that keeps it a little bit more loose. So maybe 9 to 12 doing that schoolwork, 1 to 4 doing the housework, the chores, maybe the hands-on in the kitchen, home ec style learning, and then blocking out that family time as well. And then being able to keep it flexible within those time periods. So if a child has to do, math, language arts, writing, science, let those be items within the block schedule, but they should be able to address those, a little bit out of order some days. As long as they consistently do it daily, it doesn't matter so much what that, exact time is that they're doing it.
Yeah, I like what I'm hearing with that regarding the flexibility, because for a lot of these children, this is new and a little disorienting for them too. So just trying to have a little bit looser of a rein allows you to manage their emotions and their coping strategies day to day. I like that. Now, when it comes actually to time to doing the homeschooling itself, should you be hovering over the children? I'm going to guess that's probably not the best idea.
No. No, so there are two types of lessons that the kids are going to have. One are learning lessons, and the other ones are practice lessons. Now, usually those learning lessons happen, once a week or once every couple of days when you're introducing something new. That's really the time when the parent, it's necessary for them to engage being part of educating, and we can do some really fun stuff with that in the house to make it relevant to our child. But the rest of those lessons should be short practice intervals that keep them sharp consistently. And when we're doing that, we really don't need to be hovering, or that could be our time that we're doing something else, because the result of what they're doing during those practice lessons tells us how well they're retaining the information.
What about setting expectations?
So this, we're in a really trying time right now. And as parents, we're feeling all of the pressure from finances to keeping the house in order, feeding the kids, and now educating them. And it often becomes overlooked how the kids are feeling about this too. Being a veteran homeschooler, going into this, I knew to ask my kids what their thoughts were about no longer being able to go out and have a routine in which their routine's affected from their day-to-day lifestyle. And they actually told me what they were feeling responsible for. And I think that we don't give our kids enough credit sometimes. So setting that expectation and for communication has to go both ways. It has to be, okay, as the parent, this is what we're expecting from you on a daily basis. Now, what are your expectations of us on a daily basis? Do you need help with homework? Do you need, an alarm clock set? Do you want to get your own snacks out of the refrigerator? Their life has been disrupted, and they've lost a lot of control that they would normally have outside of the house. And so if we just try to keep control in the house, it's going to end in conflict and frustration for what's supposed to be a long-term schedule for the moment.
Yeah. Lastly, what about joining online groups? That's something you recommend, yes?
Yeah, so even though this e-learning platform, the virtual learning, is new to public schoolers, this is something that's been around for a very long time. And I would encourage you to join a local online homeschool group, if not for anything else, but get the support of other parents who have been home with their kids. I mean, I've always said the best part of homeschooling is that my kids are with me all the time and we learn together. But the hardest part is that my kids are with me all the time, and it's very difficult to get everything done all in one day. So joining a community like that will definitely add value for support.
There is strength in numbers. Jennifer Lopez, the author of the book Chief Executive Mom, thank you so much for taking the time to give us some advice that a lot of us probably badly need. Thank you again.
Thank you.
It's good to